Raise your hand if you've been on self improvement for a couple of years, but you have underwhelming results when it comes to your physique, finances, and habits. Raise your hand if you self sabotaged your plans sometime in the recent past. Now, raise your hand if you also think you are an intellectual and a critical thinker. You're an intellectual, right? You know what's good for you and the future you want, right? Your mind is your own worst enemy, right? I want you to watch this.
I want you to explain to these recruits how the worst soldier in the unit has managed to put them all to shame.
I just stopped thinking. I figured out that using my brain was the whole problem. Not just here, but my entire life. But if I just do exactly what I'm told and nothing else, then everything gets easy.
And I'm Indian, I'm brown, right? Like, I'm brown. I live in India, and anyone who is Indian knows you have to go through some big competitive exams. Either you pick NEET or you pick JEE. I picked JEE because, well, I like physics, and the general social format is you pretty much give up your life when you're in 11th grade, and then for 2 years, you literally lock yourself in a room and study for the exam. Well, at least that's the ideal case scenario according to our parents, according to society. But for most people, they don't really prepare. Uh, they'll go to the tuitions, they'll go to coaching, but they won't really prepare. And on the other spectrum, again, the good boys, they'll lock themselves in their coaching classes and their rooms and they'll study all day long. I was the first kind. I didn't really prepare for it. I got into 11th grade when the COVID lockdown was just coming to an end. This was back in 2021, and I had spent the entire year just watching anime, simping on Discord, and just being a miserable fuck. Those are the three things that I did with full dedication throughout 2021. Until the end of 2021 came, around then I hopped onto self improvement and actually started doing something productive for myself. But the point is, academically, my 11th grade was fucked. In 12th grade, I just focused on school stuff, the regular board school stuff, because I never wanted to go to college. Since I was on self improvement, I had belief in myself that I would be able to, do an online business of some sort and I won't have to go through the regular college route. So never really paid attention to any of the competitive stuff. Sure, I had tuitions, but I wasn't really going to coaching. In fact, my parents they bought me coaching and I essentially wasted it. But I was just studying regular stuff, normal school stuff. Okay, there's a test, so I'll study for it. Simple. I'm not taking extensive coaching just for an entrance exam. Why the fuck do I keep saying by the way? I'll try to cut that out because obviously making these videos is also a speech exercise for me, like a storytelling exercise. And again, I'm not making eye contact. Anyways, but like it's not like anybody's watching this far anyway. So I know if there's like one person who's watching this far, I know who it is. Who is? Anyways, where was it? Yeah. So I didn't really prepare for anything. And December rolls around. December of 2022. There's this really big exam called the JEE exam. And it had not it hadn't it had not really released the dates for it hadn't really released the dates for its first attempt. And people would just chill and then suddenly one day a bombshell drops and and what the fuck is that? And a bombshell drops. The board for JEE it says the exam is in 45 days, and this was literally so shocking to people because usually the exam dates will be released 2 months, 3 months in advance. But that time but that year it was released just 40 days ago. If I'm 40 days or 45 days ago, if I remember correctly. And I saw a meltdown. Like every single student I knew, they were having a meltdown. They were panicking. They were messaging each other, bitching about, uh, what the fuck? My bad. I'm just trying to work on my storytelling as well. They're panicking. They're messaging each other about the exam dates, about how unfair it is, and how they will rally on Twitter about it. And all I saw were a bunch of weak people and unka randi rona, essentially. I found that I might not be able to just get out of the regular college route without actually having to show something for it. So I knew somewhere in my head that I would have to go to college. Now there were two paths ahead of me. Either just do whatever you're doing and your parents will throw you into a really expensive private college somewhere far away from home, or there's a decent government college nearby with pretty reasonable fees compared to other engineering colleges, but it requires a higher cutoff, like a higher score in the exam itself to get entrance into it. I saw that I had 45 days. All of my competition, they had their knees weak, literally. Like their knees were trembling because of the exam dates. And I saw an opportunity and I took it. Literally that one day when these exam dates came out, I saw a YouTube video. I remember it really clearly. The YouTube video was about which chapters had the highest chance of being tested in this entrance exam. And I made a list of the highest priority chapters, like the ones that are easy. Plus, they have a lot of questions that come from it. And I literally made an Excel sheet. I said to myself, I will study 7 hours a day on the clock every day. 7 hours, as in around 3 hours of deep work, 3 hours of shallow work, and 1 hour of literally just revising whatever I learned throughout the day and some old things I learned, whatever. I said that to myself that I literally made a timetable. I had already written down which chapters I had to do and what template to follow. And after that, I pretty much just cut myself off. I decided to unknowingly retard max. What I mean by that is, in the days that came, I did my work diligently. I woke up, I did my deep work sessions. Then I had lunch, I roamed around, didn't fry my dopamine too much, just had fun for a couple hours, 3 or 4 hours. Then in the afternoon, I had another 3 hours of shallow work where I would just literally watch lectures from YouTube, free lectures from YouTube, and then I would make notes out of it. And then one final hour before sleeping, I would just revise what I learned. Pretty simple. Like, there's no complex strategy here. Just I knew high leverage topics and I said I would work on it 7 hours a day. I didn't set unrealistic standards for myself, saying I would work 13 hours or 14 hours on this thing. Just 7 hours a day, consistently every day. And I promised to myself the format would not change. In the coming days, again, my friends are messaging me about test series, about this chapter is confirmed to be in the exam, and the pattern has changed and it's now this, it's now that. All this fucking bullshit. I closed my ears, literally. I did not react to whatever insider information my friends had, whatever an experienced teacher on YouTube said to do. I knew what I had to do. I had already sat down. I spent one day, a couple hours, writing down what I had to do, and I didn't care. I didn't care if I didn't score in the exam because honestly, I could just say I never prepared for it and get away with it. I had no pressure to prepare in the exam, to score well in the exam. All I had to do was 7 hours a day after day, again and again, just follow what my past self wrote down to do. Like, my past self wrote down, okay, these are 20 chapters I have to cover, these are the lectures I have to cover. Do it. So fucking easy. Like, there's no cognitive load on me. It's just man hours, like labor, work hours. That's it. There's no cognitive load on me. And I did that. And I remember very clearly, I had an accountability partner, this girl from my class. She was basically an accountability partner. And she used to panic often. She used to change her strategy. She used to be doing mock tests every day, stuff like that. And I did those mock tests as well. Like when there was only a week left for the exam, I started doing these mock tests. And honestly, my scores were really underwhelming. Like, uh, I was barely scoring 100 or 120 marks out of 300, whatever. I don't even remember how many marks the exam held. And she was scoring consistently 170, 180, 200. So she was way ahead of me. But I never changed my strategy. Again, I told you why. I had no skin in the game. I had no stakes in it. Literally, if I, worst case scenario, if I miserably failed, I could say I never prepared for it. Just 1 month, I just prepared for it like 1 month. What do you expect me to do? And I just, like a good boy, like a retard, I just blindly followed what I had written in the past. And exam day rolls around. Similar thing. Everybody in the exam center, they're panicking, they're getting nerves because obviously this is something many people have been preparing for 2 years. A lot of their families' hopes and pressure lie on them. And here I am, a little retard, spent just 30 days preparing, not 40 days preparing, 7 hours a day. So what's that like? Max to max, 40 into 7, 280 hours of work, pretty much. That's all I did. And I sat down in the exam hall. I looked around me. I literally saw people were so nervous, and I literally like a dark thought came into my head. Like I could literally maul all of these people right now. Like they have skinny necks, and I could literally just choke the life out of them. I don't need to feel any nerves. I don't need to feel scared or nervous or anything or anxious. I sat down. Wrote my exam. It was a 3 hour exam. I did whatever I knew I could do. I didn't waste on time on things I couldn't do or things that you get my point. I didn't do anything too smart. This is a story of retard maxing, so you get my point. I didn't overthink anything. I didn't try to be intellectual or whatever, all that fucking bullshit. I get done with the exam. The results come through, and I scored 94.5 percentile, meaning if there were 1,000 students writing that exam, I beat 945 of them. Think about that. 1,000 people, all they have to show for their life. Like, if you ask those 1,000 people, what have you done in the past 2 years of your life? They will say that they were preparing for a competitive exam. They were preparing to get into a good college. 945 of them were left behind by me. Does it make any semblance of rational sense? Like, I studied for a month, not 2 years, a month. Very limited topics, very limited chapters. And somehow I beat 945 of them. How? Well, because I was being a retard. I played the intellectual, the critical thinker card for 1 day, literally. Out of 41 days, for 1 day, I played the intellectual, the critical thought, the critical thinker card, and I wrote down what to do. After that, I just followed it to the T. Like, why is there a need to over analyze and overthink about everything you set yourself out to do? Like, so many things, like, I can't even put a finger on it at this point. So many things I myself have started and then sabotaged my own self because I'm a fucking intellectual, because I have to be correcting codes every 30 minutes, because I have to be driving myself into the fucking wall, even if I'm on the highway already. Even if my past self put me on the highway, I literally just have to press foot on the gas. Yet somehow, because I'm over analyzing, because I'm overcorrecting my course, I will somehow find a way to slam into a wall on an empty fucking highway. That's the reality with majority of the people. Like, look around you, look at your fucking self. How many times did you sabotage your own self? Like, at one point, it's not even funny, it becomes fucking scary. I reused the same tactic. I reused the same tactic again, by the way, for the second attempt, which was a couple months, 2 months later after my normal boards exam. So I spent the normal boards exam just studying for the board. Obviously, I scored 95.2% on that as well. Not percentile, percent as in out of 1,000 marks, I scored 952 marks. I did that. And then similar retard max. I like for like what 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I retard maxed again. Similar things. One day I sat down, I wrote what to do. And coming days I just followed it like a retard. I scored 95.91 percentile, almost 96 percentile on the second attempt. Meaning again, out of 100 kids, out of 100 students, who would say they spent the last 2 years of their life preparing for an exam, I somehow, out of those 100, beat 96. I didn't follow any Twitter trends. I didn't follow any YouTuber telling me this is the pattern for the exam. These are the topics that are new this time. This is the chapter that will change everything. I didn't start doing test series and mock tests because they would help me get comfortable or help me feel more natural writing the exam. I trusted my past self. I trusted that what it set out for me to do, the plans my past self had for me were good. They were good for me. They would only lead up. I left my ego at the fucking door, thinking that every day I could plan something better, because I knew that if there was a chance that every new plan that I made was going to be better, there was also a chance that every new plan I made was going to be worse. So why bother? Like, you literally have to not do something. You don't have to overthink. You don't have to be a fucking intellectual. You just have to follow what you wrote down. The other day, I was talking to one of my friends, and I was talking to him about dopamine detox and now I'm not being productive in my day to day. And he literally told me that he was facing the same things before, but now he's doing something else. He's doing Pomodoro, like 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 times a day, with a simple rule of, okay, the timer will start. I will do the work which I already planned to do. Like a day before, I planned myself, okay, I'll do this chapter, I'll do that chapter, I'll do this subject, that subject. I already wrote it down. So when the timer starts, the 30 minutes start, I will start doing it. When the 10-minute break comes on, I will not check YouTube or my WhatsApp or phone. Instead, I'll just walk around the house, talk to my family, just drink water or something, and then come back to the table for another 30 minutes. At first, I was trying to find rationale, but Hamza said two are deep work. Hamza said this. Hamza said work like a lion. Yeah, sure. Work like a lion. What good is that if you're nowhere near to what you wanted to do? I think at this point I'm just rambling, honestly, but still, this is something I recently discovered for myself. Imagine there are two truths, or not truths, there are two beliefs. There's belief A and belief B. Belief A is 70% right, but it doesn't add much to you. It doesn't help you grow. It's like me saying, the sun rises from the east. Sure, 100% right, but does it help me in some sort of way? Really, like, does it help me grow? Does it help me be better? No, not really. Like, it's not a rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. My bad. It doesn't help me grow. It's 100% true, but it doesn't help me grow. There's belief B that's maybe 30%, 40% right, but it helps you grow a lot. So imagine what I just said. Belief A is that sun rises from the east every morning, and belief B is that the sun rises from east every morning only if I hit 10 push-ups in the morning before the sun rises. I'm a fucking retard then if I believe in belief B. I'm a fucking retard if I think that me doing push-ups is the only reason the sun comes up and everybody, 8 billion humans, billions of plants and animals and microbes are living on Earth because the sun rises when I do 10 push ups. Widely wrong belief, widely inaccurate, widely childish. But guess what? When 1,000 days have passed, the first guy with the belief A, nothing has changed for him really. He just lived out those 1,000 days. Whereas me, with the belief B, that's retarded, that's not really true. All of a sudden, for those 1,000 days to come true, I have done 10,000 push ups because I believe that the only way the sun rises and the world doesn't end is if I do 10 push ups before the sun rises. You get my point? Sure, I may be retarded, but my arms will be fucking 4 times as big as the guy with the belief A. Because I would rather be retarded than unsuccessful. Think about that. Would you rather be right or would you rather be right or would you rather be rich? This need of being right, this need of being intellectual, and this need of being a critical thinker, it's way up on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What you need right now is not feeling like an intellectual, not feeling a metacognition for your own thoughts that's way high up for your level. Like, humble yourself. What you need right now is to cater to the lower levels of the master's hierarchy of needs. You need to leave your ego at the door. Learn to be a retard when it comes to literally doing what you set for yourself to do. Literally, you don't even have to answer to a master, you don't have to answer to anyone. Just respect and follow what your past self wrote down without overthinking, without questioning everything. Just do it. Literally, be a retard for once. See where that takes you in life. And I did the same. I call it retard maxing. The 30-10 Pomodoro that my friend suggested. I've been doing it for the past 2 days and I've gotten twice the work done that I do normally. Like, in fact, I've been able to incorporate a pretty hardcore dopamine detox into it because literally I'm 30 minutes working and then 10 minutes I'm just roaming, getting steps in, talking to people. And it's so fucking easy. Like, I'm thinking back to 3 days ago when I was struggling with this shit. It's so fucking easy. Just turn your little intellectual, by the way, a pseudo intellectual who doesn't have anything to show for his intellect, he doesn't have results to show for his intellect. A pseudo intellectual sabotaging me again and again. That fucking pisses me off. A pseudo intellectual version of me stopping me from becoming what I can. And maybe, sure, if I become successful, if I have all the money, all the things I want, sure, be a fucking intellectual who fucking cares, write a book, debate Socrates, become the next Plato. I don't know. Like, I don't know, hit a copyright strike on Marcus Aurelius. Who gives a fuck? At least be rich first. So, this is your actionable step for the day. Literally 30-10 Pomodoro and 30-10 Pomodoro. And again, I don't want to hear bullshit like, oh, 25-10, 25 and 5 might be better. 40 and 10 might be better. Deep work, 2 hour deep work, 6, 7. I don't want to hear none of it. Like, literally, if you are a young man and you care about your productivity, about how much work you get done, about growing in life, just for once, turn your fucking brain off. Your brain isn't a specimen. It's not Albert Einstein's brain that's been cut up into fucking thousand slices. It's your brain inhabiting a body that is in the situation that you are. Look around you, look at the situation you're in. Look at how many years you spent on this earth and you're nowhere near where you want to be. Who's to blame for that? Your brain, obviously. Your body doesn't move on its own. You have a centralized nervous system that connects to your fucking brain. It commanded everything you did so far. And if you're not where you need to be, you need to confront it now. You can't let it just sabotage you again and again and again. Are you a fucking cuck? Like, at this point, you like watching your girl getting fucked from a chair. So why would you watch your life getting fucked by your brain again and again? What the fuck? So why would you watch your life getting fucked by your brain again and again and again without doing something about it? To do both of us a favor, follow a 30-10 Pomodoro. Literally just search up YouTube, find a 2 hour one, 6 hour one, whatever, I don't care. Follow that 30-10 Pomodoro, 30 minutes of work, 10 minutes of just actually being free, actually resting, not checking YouTube, not checking your social media, not checking WhatsApp, nothing. Just walk around, have a fucking life, call your fucking family, and do that. That's your actionable step. If you don't do it, well, I don't know why you watched so far in this video. Like, what's the fucking point? Follow this Pomodoro for a day at least. The next time your brain comes up with a witty intellectual thought, with a 1% better move, tell it to shut the fuck up. Because your brain will literally do anything, literally anything but the work you're supposed to do. Anyways, that's about it. This video is all over the place. I lost it in between somewhere. Again, these things will come with practice. At least I'm putting up videos. How many videos have you put up, bro? Well, then shut the fuck up. All right, bye.